Hello, Raleigh. This is citizen reporter Robert Courts, and I'm coming to you from the YB Raleigh News Network. And today I've got a special treat for anyone who believes, as I do, that citizen engagement is the cornerstone of good government. And today I have Byron Laws. Byron, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Robert. Pleasure to be with you.
Well, it's my treat indeed because I'm anxious to share what you are doing with my audience. You are part of an organization called What's the 919? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I established What's the 919 probably around COVID time after seeing some changes happening after the last local municipal election where some major changes took place.
Yes,
And I
sir.
just saw that there were some changes that took place that people weren't aware of. And if I wasn't paying attention myself, I wouldn't have, known that these significant changes took place. So I wanted to create a space and a platform to help people connect and access this information and these changes and happenings in their local government.
Well, Byron, I remember the last council and some of the things they did seemingly in the dark of night, if you will. And it ruffled my feathers a little bit. So to have your new initiative here, quite frankly, is very exciting for me. What's the goal of What's the 919?
So the goal is just to connect people to information and resources and make it a little entertaining. Sometimes we watch the news and it could be a little daunting and doom. So I just wanted to create something that's enjoyable to watch, something that you could actually watch with your kids, and but also be informative and give you the information that could help you be more engaged in the people and decisions that are guiding your daily life.
You know, Byron, a lot of people just don't truly know or understand that local government is the one that impacts your life the most, right? From your transportation to the fire department, parks, all of this really is local government and has a huge impact on the average citizen's life.
Yeah, very much so. I just pretty much took a deep dive into everything local. Probably around 2018, I started attending the CAC meetings, Citizen Advisory Council meetings at the time in my district, which is District C. And there were about 10 to 11 of those. So I tried to attend as many as I could within a month or two time span just to see, what was happening in community, how decisions were being made in the community, who were involved in the decision-making process from the standpoint of community members. And from there, I just started to see where the decisions were being made and just how these conversations were going and how they looked from CAC to CAC. From there, I actually took it a step further and became the vice chair of my CAC, which was South Central CAC. We met at Roberts Park, but shortly after entering, leadership, council had dismantled the CAC. So from there, I tried to, continue to be involved, and I became a commissioner with the Human Relations Commission.
And I'm very familiar with your excellent service and leadership on the Human Relations Commission. So what will be some of the topics for What's the 919? What will you be discussing on this program?
So truly, I just want to start off giving that basic foundation in regards to the roles and responsibility and the functions of your city council, your mayor, your city manager, as well as county commissioners and school board. So giving a basic and solid foundation, starting there, and then just kind of taking a step further each episode. So then going into the actual districts so that people kind of understand that these are the parameters and borders of a district C or whatever district they may live in, as well as just highlight some of those local landmarks that we kind of are familiar with, but we may not know that are actually in what district. I think it's important to kind of just have that basic foundation and then going from there to understanding the different committees that the councilors serve on, both, city councilor as well as county commissioners, as well as how the school board functions as well. I think this is a great place to start. And then from there, you can but from there, you can navigate what to pay attention to when it comes to what issue that you might be facing, or as well as just what topic may have more interest to you or personal passion.
Well, this is fantastic. I know, as you do, the power that an engaged citizen has in their government. not only to advocate for their particular zoning or their neighborhood, but to have a real impact on the entire city. So this basic information is crucial to being a true and effective advocate.
Very much so. I think from there, I think a lot of times we hear that, it starts and ends with voting, but it really doesn't. There's other ways that you can still be involved, especially locally, whether that's, serving on a board, being a commissioner of something of sort, or even just attending meetings to make sure you know what's going on and then sharing that information with those in your family and community. It doesn't stop and it doesn't start with voting. The engagement process is really important, as well as holding those people accountable once they get into office,
Yeah.
For those things that impact you, knowing who represents you on what level of government and how to access those people.
Well, Byron, as a local Raleigh government nerd geek, I find all this fascinating. But when I chat with many of my friends, I see their eyes glaze over and they're like, okay, Robert, what else do you have to talk about? And I say that because I love your approach to this. You have a unique way of engaging or making this a little more entertaining. Would you share a little bit about that secret with me?
So I don't necessarily know if it's a secret, Robert, but I would say that the technology is just making the world a different place. And I think it's important that we kind of understand how to take advantage of that, as well as how to use it as a creative outlet. So podcasts are really popular right now. And I just wanted to kind of do something a little different in regards to doing something that lends itself to being creative, as well as that might tap into some people's nostalgia. I wanted to create something that kind of gives you like a modern schoolhouse rock or a Space Ghost Coast to Coast kind of feel, where it's entertaining, it's fun, but you're getting the information that you need. And it's just something that you can kind of do in between time, as well as really sit down and listen to a conversation.
Well, that's fantastic. You provided a clip. May I roll the clip?
Yes, you can. The animation is done by a local artist, Sketch Gamble. He actually has a tattoo shop and art gallery on St. Mary Street. So,
nice.
Yeah.
I love the power of local. All right, let me cue this up real quick. I played it twice because I love Schoolhouse Rock, Byron.
Appreciate that, Robert. Yeah, just wanted to do something a little different. It's also fun.
Well, that I think really will add a lot of aspect, a little more interesting. We all like a short clip, and often what we're doing is we're entertaining ourselves while we're sitting in the carpool line, or if I get to the city council early and I'm sitting there, we often go to our phone. So I really think the animated aspect of this is going to really bring a unique touch to your discussions.
I'm hoping so, Rob. I'm hoping so.
Well, provide us a little more details. Where are you in the process? What's your time frame? What's next, if you will?
So right now we have Sketch doing animation. We also are working out content for the first 2 episodes, which will be those basic foundations, function, responsibility of those local government, as well as a second episode. We're really going to where do you need to go to participate in early voting, where those voting locations are at within the county and the city. Also your district, as well as also would like to inform people of the other races on the ballot that they may not be familiar with: soil and water, register of deeds, things like that. So a lot of times we kind of just know the big races that are happening, but there's a lot of races on that ballot that are just as important. So those will be the first 2 episodes, and those will be dropping in mid-October.
Nice.
You can follow us at What's the 919 on Instagram, as well as What's the 919 at Gmail. If you want to be more involved or get more information, feel free to contact me.
Well, Byron, let me just say once again how fantastic this is. This information is crucial to good governance, and you're coming about it with a unique and charming way to do it.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Well, let me offer to you, anytime you can need some support, or do know that every time an episode drops, with your permission, I'll be pushing it out and talking about it.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I'd love to have you on as well.
Sure, please. I would be honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Raleigh, let me tell you, Byron, what's the 919? All this and more is in your backyard. Check it out. Let's wave them out, Byron. See you, Raleigh.
Thank you for having me.